Hello everybody, it is Whiskey with Whiskey's Gaming Lounge coming at you with the next episode in our Factorio Let's Play. This is episode number 16. In the last episode we got a good head start on our trains, which we are going to need to supply all of the resources coming into this plant in the not too distant future. Now, I want to apologize to everybody, though. Much like last weekend, this weekend I had a racing event again, and that's going to be... There's only one more week in which this will be an issue. That's the week of Labor Day, which is the second week in September. So, hopefully now things should also calm down a little. Also, I do want to thank you guys for the conversation from the previous video with the nuclear power plants and renewables discussion. That's been a very fun discussion for me. I'm glad that there are some people who are interested in molten salt reactors and their possible benefits. One of these days I will probably get around to doing a video, but if you have any other questions about that, you are certainly welcome to either throw it in that video or this video, or if you want to just shoot me a message, you certainly can do that as well. Also, when I was recording this video, for some odd reason Open Broadcast software did not record the sound of my voice. So, this is all post recording of this Let's Play, so this one's going to be a little odd, whereas all my other videos are in situ, where we're doing things actually in the video. So this is a little bit different. As you can see, we are attempting to find something to research. I think I went on some long discussion in this one, but yeah, I don't know. We need that worker robot speed. We'll get that researched here. So, there's not exactly a whole lot of iron coming through. That's kind of sad and depressing as well. We need to address that issue before we get too far, simply because we need iron throughput. So let's go ahead and go on over there. I believe I've got enough of... Oh, yeah, let's go... While we're over here, let's go ahead and pick up some steel for the train tracks that we're going to need in order to get FARL rolling. And of course, in the last video I introduced you to the Factorio automated rail layer and how it's used. That is definitely one of the best utilities in this game. It does seem a little cheat-y, but laying rails is such a tedious task, and even though the new system is really good and I really enjoy the new rail laying system, excellent work from the creators here, I just feel like FARL is a little bit... I much prefer it. It just simplifies things. It requires less thinking for me. All I have to do is drive, which is about the only thing I can do reasonably well. So, alright, let's get this iron stuff taken. Ooh, I can't put one up there. Let's get this iron stuff taken care of and get this out of the way. This should fix iron hopefully long enough for us to get all of our... Oh, there's even an extra spot there. This will fix iron long enough for us to at least get our trains rolling and get everything with the trains situation figured out. Let's get this stuff powered up. And yep, we are getting close. I really don't know why I put that last one there. Reasons, I guess. Oh, hey. Definitely looks like that's helping out a little bit. That extra throughput is going to help, but we're going to go ahead and expand it even further. I just have this feeling, premonition, like I've done this before. Oh, hey, look, another one that's not being used fully. Well, let's address this issue, shall we? And yes, get this. I'm not going to spend the time to put an actual splitter in here to try and do this. They're simply put, not going to put enough throughput onto that one belt, and by the time this gets all figured out, I'll probably be able to eliminate a whole line. So, alright, let's go ahead and build some more rail, and while that's doing, we will go ahead and run on back to our primary factory. Oh, more research. More logistics robot speed. Yeah, those are going to get worn out here pretty soon, and that's part of the reason why I need to go ahead and get the trains rolling, because they are needed. Uh-oh, we're under attack. Oh my, that's like really close. What the deuce? Get off that. Running up against those transport belts. Yeah, that doesn't help the situation at all. They're destroying my copper. Ah! Silly grab. Uh-oh. Yee! This guy's got a lot of hit points. Oh, hey. Maybe I should stop running on the transport belt if I plan on salvaging these things. Well, that's really unfortunate. Managed to destroy a bunch of stuff. Gonna have to build new miners, repair the ones we got. I do like the recent change to the durability and the speed at which those repair packs work. That is going to be an amazing amount of help. And the alerts that stay around forever obviously confused me there for a moment. Let's get us some belt there, since we need it. And now there is a graboid on my belt. Jerks. I'm calling them graboids in favor of, you know, the Tremors movies. If you've never seen the Tremors movies, I highly recommend watching them just for the sheer B-moviness of them. The new circles help a lot too, as well, with the figuring out of the range that you actually need to put stuff. And yep, I think those are my two places that are causing all of my problems. Now, I think what I'm going to probably end up doing is removing these outer walls and bringing these into smaller sub bases and making one big wall around my current base. But for now, we're going to go ahead and keep doing what we are doing, and I'm just going to have to remove those bases, the biter spawner areas, the biter bases, to go ahead and address the constant fighting that's going. Ooh, hey, flamethrower turret. That's interesting. Interesting that it uses regular pumps instead of an electric pump. I guess electricity and, well, I don't know. Common misconception, though. Electricity plus gasoline does equal a fire, but not in a sealed container. There's an interesting physics question for y'all. Okay. Let's go ahead and jump in FARL. Now, unfortunately, I did make a mistake and forgot to put in the big rails, or not big rails, big power poles. But we will go ahead and get the rest of this rail laid. And as soon as we get up here, we'll go ahead and get it started and continue on. And we're out of big electric poles and it's screaming at me. That's okay. We needed to add that little bit of a jog there just because we needed the extra. Uh-oh, I'm out of rail. That's unfortunate. We had to put that jog in there though to get up and around the copper in the bottom, so we had enough room for a train station there. Now I'm going to go ahead and attempt to make a circle using the new system. Oy. This is one area where I almost missed not having the, I almost missed the original. Now that doesn't look too bad, and in fact I think that's exactly how it would have looked had I done it the other way. It requires a lot of thinking on my part. Making train stations, this is another one as well that I'm a little unhappy with. But I think because of what we will do with this is we're going to tie all three of these iron mines into this one train station. And then we are going to go ahead and do one on this bottom for the copper, and then another for the coal. let's see. What do we need? Flamethrowers. Yes. Let's go ahead and get that efficiency module stuff figured out here. Not that efficiency modules are a huge need right now. I haven't really used any modules, so something that I probably should do. No! What are you doing, See, this is what I'm talking about. Like, it's just more difficult than it needs to be to lay some of these things. And I don't want to complain about it because the system is improved. It's just that it's not, I don't know, it could use a little bit of TLC. And having the option of doing it manually, I don't think that is really all that game breaking, so I don't know. But we'll go ahead and we'll get this guy sorted. I do like the new setup with the positions where you can place stuff. That's handy. I also like the fact that you can see where the trains will be going. That is also very handy. Okay, does that open up the line? It does. Perfect. FARL, we need you to come to this new station. Code corrupt and quote what? Mr. Tyler and quote hyphen, or actually semicolon, code corrupt and quote semicolon Hoyt. We're gonna rename you to Iron Mine 1. Simply because we don't like your other one. Let's get FARL headed here so that we can set up inventory full and go. FARL's running. So once he gets back around, we will go ahead and take full advantage of his location there, and we are going to put up our, well, as soon as we get done researching this, we're going to go ahead and get our train station here set up. We are going to need a whole bunch of electric miners for this first iron ore mining patch. Oh, there's even some oil here. Oh, there's 4 oil. 4 oil. There's actually a lot of oil on this map. I must have used some pretty favorable settings, so I guess we'll add an oil depot down here too on the bottom side. Or maybe I'll just pipe it straight back. I don't know. I'll deal with that in a different episode. We're trying to get iron going. Clear out this iron patch of all of its wood, because for some odd reason, like in Command & Conquer, all of our resources... No, I don't want the iron. All of our resources spawn on the surface of the world. Clear out some more of this so that we got plenty of room to put our electric miners. We are also going to need those big electric poles, but we will do that here in a minute as soon as we get these electric miners placed. Now, where do these need to go? Got time to do some thinking. Yep. Oh, that's perfect. Wow. I'm good with, well, I'm good with that. Alright, so now that we got those laid, we can go ahead and use our usual pattern of laying down electric mining drills. And of course, now that we've gotten some expansion here, we can go ahead and add in more to the bottom side of this. And that's okay that it loads up that one side. It'll all work out in the end. And get another row in here. Another row. Another day. And while that's doing that, we will go ahead and use Express Transport Belt, because we are producing Express Transport Belt now, and we are producing it in a pretty good pace, actually. Not exactly, obviously, the fastest that it could be, but it's fast enough. And, get all this stuff going. Don't need that one all the way up there. Maybe I do. No. I don't think so. Don't think so. That's going to have to get removed. I just know it. Splitters. So one of the big changes that they made in this that I just noticed in this game is now that the Express Transport underground belt requires lubricant. Yeah, see? I don't need those two. That's not going to be a huge deal, at least in this part, until we get the train station issue addressed. Get that stuff taken care of. Okay. Yes. Alright, while we're waiting for those things to go, we'll go ahead and try and get our inserter set up going. We do need 20 steel chests. It's a lot of steel chests, but we need them for this. Now, I'm going to go ahead, even though that they've fixed these train slots so that they work correctly in both directions, I'm going to go ahead and stick to one setup that I've used in the past. It's not the most efficient way of loading a train, but it does work out really well. Let's place these last couple of miners here before we get to that, though. The train system that I've been using, it works great when you have lots and lots and lots and lots of ore coming across on the belts, but when the belts start getting a little weak in their actual amount that's coming through them, it ends up not working out too terribly well at those rates. But when you've got a lot of iron ore moving, like we will have for quite a while, because we're going to have 3 of these patches are going to be pumping iron into the belts, so let's add some more fast transport belt. I do also enjoy that the stone rocks are now mineable. Not that I need them, but I'm trying to clear out some room here for the belts that are going to come through while we wait for all these miners to finish here. One other thing that we will need to pay attention to also is the coal. You see how the coal is meshed into the iron there, and that's going to complicate things a little bit. We just have to be a little bit more careful about where we place our electric miners, since they don't mine perfectly where they're at. They have a, well, for lack of a better phrase, a sphere of influence. So we want to make sure that we avoid placing miners where they overlap the coal, because then every now and then we will get a random coal stuck on our iron belts. And that is a little... I mean, you could set up... I mean, you could set up a... You could set up like a smart inserter or something like that to deal with that. Now, smart inserters have been removed, so I'd have to go back and see if there's an equivalent to that. I'm sure there is now. But we'll go ahead and place this there for right now, and when we get all of this iron ore mined out, we will go ahead and deal with the rest of it. Okay, so now that we got all of our inserters here and we're waiting on splitters, we'll go ahead and get the train station set up. Now, I want to leave myself enough space between there to go ahead and put a substation there. Now, the benefit to this station setup is that when you get rid of this piece of wood, so long as you have iron ore on the belt, it's going to fill the steel chests, and you end up spending less time at a train station with the train. And if they haven't changed the fill rates of the trains yet, it should be about 30 seconds, so long as there's enough ore in all of the chests to put into the trains. Got to make myself some big electric power poles, and I think I'm going to tear up the ones that I put out there now that the train is rolling. But we'll do that in a different episode. That's not going to be this episode. Okay. Waiting on splitters, waiting on splitters. Do. Guess we'll go ahead and put in our belts. Now, in an ideal world, we would actually have 3 going down into this, but it's such a pain to make a 4 to 6 to 8 belt configuration to get the ore to the other side. This is why I said it's less resources. It's not quite as efficient, but it's less total resources if we do it this way versus doing it the quote-unquote more efficient way. Okay, now that that's done, and this is where I found out that the express underground belts now require lubricant. Thanks, Obama. I'm just joking. It doesn't have anything to do with that. Oh boy. That's definitely an interesting balance change, because it used to be that you could make express underground belts. Now I never abused it in any of my other gameplay playthroughs, and I never actually didn't think about it until I realized that they made the change. So for me it was kind of like, well, that's just odd, but whatever. I mean, it's up to them. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and do it right here. This is gonna be a 6 to 4 combiner. And we need to run these belts all the way out. That's fine. Why? Oh no, you're right. That's not fine. And do this, and then one more for that last one. Get them hooked up. One done. Get this one hooked up. This one. This one. And this one. Alright. So now we've got all of that. We need our big electric power poles. Let's hook up our substation. Yep, that'll work. And we want to go ahead and make sure we leave plenty of room for our other stuff to come through. And yep, okay. Get our power poles going. Oh, you pesky research. Yes. Armor. More power armor. Yep. 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 And we need more medium electric poles. It's a good thing I remembered all these resources. What's the worst I could possibly... Oh, forgot to hook that up. There we go. And the power's flowing. Look at us going to town on this iron field. And we are almost done getting this all hooked up. Oops. I did that wrong. I did that very, very wrong. There we go. Has been addressed. Okay, so now we're going to fill up this, and now we need to get our belt over to our train. And I'm out. Holy cow, look at all of that regular transport belt. Well, I suppose we'll take FARL all the way over back to our train station and take us home, FARL. And the lovely turnaround. And back we go. This one train station is actually going to do a lot for us with regards to the amount of resources it's going to bring in. We're going to have copper coming in, we're going to have coal coming in, and we're going to have iron coming in. All of those things will come in at a fairly regular pace. So that's pretty nice. I mean, you think about it. Oh, I forgot, we also have oil coming in. So all of those things will certainly be advantageous to our future. For some odd reason, I don't remember the exact reasons why we didn't utilize that oil patch there. But I think we will address that in the next video. Let's pick up more transport belt, because we totally need more transport belt. And dead copper. And more dead copper. No, not dead coppers. Dead copper. Dead copper mine. Who's the one that got the kill? You got the kill. Give that man a promotion. Alright. And we can see we are producing petroleum gas. We are not producing enough light oil. That's no good. There's not really a huge demand on petroleum gas at the moment, though, so we can address that later. And as you saw, we're kind of out of oil, so we're gonna have to deal with that. Also, yeah, I can't really. How am I gonna do? I've got an idea. We've got a steel chest here. We'll use it. Place him. Dump all of our transport belts, and voila! That will get rid of those regular transport belts, and when that's done, perfect. Don't need any more coppers. We will go ahead and build a whole bunch more fast splitters. I think 15. Maybe 18. I think we're going to do... There's 15. We'll do 18. Okay, so this... Oh, we got some in there. Let's grab those. We'll go ahead and take those back. And while this is thinking, we will go ahead and put some more in. And while we're down here, we will pick up as much of this fast transport or express transport belt as we can. See there, they keep attacking that one section of the wall, or the one section of the factory. We need to address that. I don't know when we will address that, but it definitely needs to get addressed. What do we need? Oh, we need gears for that. Okay. There's a bunch of gears. That should make some engine units. That way we can make more locomotives. Oh, that should be in my tool belt. Why isn't that in my tool belt? Who knows? What? An assemble. Fix that too. I unfriend you. Okay. So, upgrade planner. Interesting. More express transport belt. How are we doing on these? There's none in there. Could have swore I've made me some of my express or fast splitters. That's still not enough to make a locomotive. We need 20 of those. We also need more gun turrets, since this fool used them all for defensive purposes rather than using them for offensive purposes. You can see that iron production is going well. Yeah, we got enough throughput on the actual ore now. We're just lacking heavily. No, not that one. Whew. We're just lacking heavily in the production side of it, which means we need to find a solution to that. And I think what I'm going to end up doing, and it's not abundantly clear in this portion of the video because you can't see it, but I think what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to end up taking the steel and going ahead and pushing it further out, and then using those burners for more iron production, and probably loop it back down into the circuit production. And that should take a circuit production and gear production down here for the belts and for all that. That should put a serious dent in the current issues with regards to our belt. Yeah, that's emptying that. Sorry, that should put a serious dent in our That should help allow us to make a whole bunch of stuff requiring iron down here, as opposed to where it's currently at. And yeah, so yes, definitely think steel is going to go up there. Iron's going to push out further west, probably take over those exact same positions. I'll have to go through and do the spacing to see if the spacing is correct to use those, or if I'm going to have to tear it all out. Also, yeah, once we get stuff powering, I guess I could probably leave them that way. Actually, now that I think about that, I probably will leave them that way. That way I can reroute the output to it straight down without having to do too much changes. So we'll go ahead and we'll just leave it at the way it is. That'll help out a lot. All that iron then will go to science, and there should be enough coming off that one line to add in other stuff that we are going to need, other production stuff that we are going to need. There's a lot of demand for gears down there. It's pretty crazy. Okay, so I've got 12 of these express splitters. Pick up some more iron. And we will go ahead and go back over here. Did he get the other kill? Man, there's graboids on my belts. They're bleeding all over my coal. Man, you just can't have anything nice. Looks like we got plenty of power production, even with everything else that's going. We'll take him with us, since he appears to be doing nothing. Nothing. And we need to start battery production so we can get laser turrets going and address our outpost defensive issues. No, we'll get in this train. He should have fuel. We'll add our iron mine to him. Inventory full. And go. Oh, Yes, okay, so one of the things that we will need to do also in one of these upcoming episodes is once we get coal running, I think what we'll do is we will run a line off the coal to power all of our trains and feed all of our trains. Now, I realize coal isn't the most efficient way to utilize that coal resource, but when it comes down to it, it's just less headache for all involved. Yes, we will go ahead and get this set up so that it is capable of accepting resources here. Oh, wait. Yeah, well, okay. So we need to remove this tree. Originally what I was going to do is I was going to go ahead and put those splitters in there. And I didn't in this part. I think I do a little bit later. Just fine. Oh, just fine. We are going to need to split off some of this line stuff from all the rest so that we have the stuff going under the rail and to the other side of the train station so that they too can contribute. Now that we got that all rolling, I'm going to realize this mistake, and we're going to put in what will most likely cause people to cringe, a 4 to 6. So we went from 6 to 4 at the mine to 4 to 6 at the train station. Oh boy. This whiskey guy, he's such a nub when it comes to playing this stuff. Like, he's just no good. he's no good at... I'm no good at video games. I should probably stop talking about myself in the third person. Go one more. Okay. And then we will do this. We will place our splitter here. Rotate this guy in. Perfect. And we will go this some way. This is just a little bit more compact, and usually what ends up happening is the middle one of these ends up not getting as full as fast, and that's part of the reason why it doesn't fill at the train as fast. Okay, now that that's taken care of, we get the other side of this. But once you have the throughput issue resolved, with the underground, yeah, we'll go ahead and use those for underground belts for right now. Look at how quickly that loads up that train. And that's not even with full chests. When the chests are full, let's see if we can't get him to stay. I need a pause button. Where's my pause button? I don't want to... No. Too late. It would be nice to have a pause button, and that was one thing that the original train manager that I was using was very handy with. And I haven't had the opportunity to look at the train manager to see, but I think we'll pop him out here in a second and look at him. Oh, while we're here, we've got enough express splitters. We'll go ahead and replace our fast splitters with express splitters. Perfect! Now we can take all of those back. We're building some turrets, which, you know, we need those too, but my word, they've changed how fast they build. At least it seems that way. And as you can see with the pollution, we've linked together our pollution, which means we are going to need to wall off this area. I don't want to wall it off quite yet because we got so many resources that are going to end up being pumped into this area. We need to make sure that those all get placed before we start walling off huge sections of it. Of course, I'm sure I will insert my foot into my mouth. That's usually how that works. Alright, we're finally working on those belts, so we'll be able to get the other belts loaded up here. Okay, first set of underground belts. Hello, game me. Knock, knock, knock. Oh, hey! Yeah, we've been playing for 9 hours and 30 minutes. That has encompassed all 16 episodes. And there we go. So now that the other side is going with all of its lovely joy, that should really help with loading up the train even faster. And we are going to fully utilize the other 2 remaining iron patches to tie into this whole system. And once this whole thing is tied in, and it's going to be a mess, I assure you, all of these belts will get saturated, and we won't have any issues feeding iron. Because as you can see, that last position needs some serious help. And that's just one of the deficiencies with this belt there, with this setup. But I think we're going to go ahead and address that probably in a little bit later episode. Like I said, once we get those patches filled out, I think that will be perfectly fine. Let's see where... Oh, there is a pause button in our... Uh-oh. Why is he... Oh, we don't have the other side done. Well, phooey! That's not at all what I had in mind. Well, we'll have to address that in another Let's Play episode. This has been episode number 16 of our Factorio Let's Play. Again, I'm Whiskey with Whiskey's Gaming Lounge. If you guys have any comments, go ahead and toss them down in the comments section. Like I said at the beginning, I really appreciate your guys' comments on the nuclear power stuff. It's nice to see that there are other people out there that fully recognize its usefulness in society. I really hope that if you have any other questions about molten salt, you'll go ahead and post those. Like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, and thank you for watching.